Really hot afternoon, heading into a Melbourne summer, midsummer. What a great opportunity to whack together some lamb koftas. Someone loves lamb koftas, I know it's her. So I want to show you what we've got. 500 grams of minced lamb. Pretty simple, easy in your supermarket. You could do this with the beef as well. I talked about preparation before. Here's some of the cool prep. When you're using you could use a paddle pop or just a skewer. These little skewers, if you soak them in water, they've been in there for an hour or so. If you soak them in water, they're less likely to burn when you put them on the barbecue, okay? So let's show you what we've got. So we've got a fair chunk of diced up red onion, and it's important that it is diced up because it's fairly large chunks. You can be chewing through that when you get through the lamb koftas, or the lamb pops or icy pops, whatever you want to call them. So I've got the onion in there. I've got a little chunk of garlic as well, minced garlic. This egg helps bind it together. You want it to bind together. If it's not binding together, what you'll find is it's going to break apart on the barbecue. Okay, so and we're adding a few kind of herbs to it as well, the traditional kind of Mediterranean herbs. We've got some coriander there, again, chopped up fine. You don't want any big chunky bits. Chopped up fine, tiny bit of salt. Now you could put chili in there. I've got a little bit of sweet paprika here. You could also put in a sumac as well, a kind of what do they call it? A lemony sumac. But I've got a sweet paprika there, a tiny bit of a little bit heater, what do we call them? Chili, not too much, don't overdo it, you'll get people complaining. A bit of mixed spice, like an allspice as well. Again, just to kind of give it that Mediterranean flavour. Don't put too much on because you might lose your palates as such. Now, and what I've got here, this is optional, just a bit of ricotta. Get a clean spoon of that. Just a bit of ricotta there, just again, kind of gives it a little bit of that cheesy flavour. Lamb and cheese, cooked on the barbecue in a kofta with that, and I'm just going to show you a little yogurt sauce there as well, a little dipping sauce. Again, here's another option you can do. With that 500 grams of mince, I've got a bit of panko breadcrumbs. You probably see me using a bit of this recently because I bought a really large batch of it. So, some panko breadcrumbs, I've got salt, just a tiny bit of pepper. Now, you could do this with a spoon. In fact, let's start with a spoon, just to mix it up. Break it up, you've got the egg in there to bind it, you've got the ricotta, you've got the lamb, and all those kind of ingredients. And what you're going to find eventually is it's probably easier with clean hands just to get in, all right? Just get in and give it a good kind of, making sure you mix it right up, getting all those awesome flavours in there. I know Maggie can smell it, I can smell it. This doesn't take long on the barbie either, about 10 so minutes, depending on how you like it. Now, with the skewers, sometimes when I do like a chicken skewer, I'll use a metal skewer, and that really helps cooking the inside of the chicken. With the lamb or a beef kofta, you can just do it with these little handheld things because you don't necessarily want it to cook all the way through. If you like your lamb or beef slightly underdone, it's sometimes better to just have those lamb skewers or those little wooden skewers. So just grabbing one at a time, just kind of making a little ball as such. And what you can see there, you don't want to make them too long, too wide. Just kind of fold it around the skewer like that. Okay, and get it kind of fairly even. And there is one uncooked lamb kofta. So I'm gonna quickly whip all these up, make them about the same size as well. Makes it a bit easier, less fighting. And then I'm going to show you the ingredients. I'll get you to squeeze in and look at the ingredients while I'm doing this. So we've got a Greek yogurt there. That's the base of that dipping sauce. So just a fair chunk of Greek yogurt there. I'm going to put in I'm going to cut those cucumbers up and put those in. Some chopped up, and again, of course, optional this stuff, just some chopped up olives there. Kalamata olives, gives it a little bit of that saltiness. And then cucumber, really finely chopped up cucumber, a little bit of cumin and a squeeze of lemon, and that's going to be our dipping sauce. And again, that can be served in a wrap. I'll show you later. I'm going to serve it with some little wraps on the barbie, little wraps, dipping sauce. Absolutely amazing. There's your lamb koftas. We're going to keep doing this and I'm going to show you what they look like when they come out. I don't necessarily need to show that. I'll chop that up shortly, put it all together and show you that when we're done. Wonderful. Okay, you can see I've got the koftas done, made those. Now they can go in the fridge. It can help them kind of hold that shape and bind them well together. You don't have to, you can put them straight on the barbie if you want it, or on the hot pan. Mine are going in the fridge. You can see I'm dicing up the cucumber here. Again, try and get it fairly thin. Makes it a bit nicer when you get that sauce. Now that sauce, I've already put the olives in there, those Kalamata olives, those well chopped up Kalamata olives. And I'm going to put in a squeeze of the this ground cumin, just not much. Again, kind of a nice aromatic Middle Eastern flavours. Again, don't overdo it. You can put this stuff on to taste later on. And just mixing that through. So rather than me spending too much time doing that, and just mixing that through. And again, that's something that you might want to put in the fridge until your koftas are cooked. So, a little cheek of lemon, and just squeeze that through. Again, gives it that kind of acidic flavour there that you want. Mixing that in, and there is a beautiful kind of dipping sauce for these lamb koftas. We're going to cook those up and show you what they look like when we're finished. Beautifully sizzling away there, sizzling away, looking good. You don't need it on there too long. You might even want to put on a little bit of canola spray as well, just to help it. Watch the flames though.